Hi there, this is Aishwarya and Alok. We recently visited the Philippines, so we found quite some information that we wish someone told us before. So we are documenting all that information in the form of this travel guide. So in the Philippines, we only visited the island of Cebu. That was because this was our honeymoon trip and we wanted to have a relaxed trip, so we didn't want to exert a lot and do island hopping, and we just wanted to take some chill time. So we kind of rented a car for 8 days and we just explored the whole island of Cebu, and we didn't really visit any other islands.
First things first, visa. So Philippines issues a sticker visa which you need to apply for beforehand, and you need to submit a lot of documents for that. So we went with a third party company called Visa to Fly, and they streamline this whole process, and they charge 6,000 rupees per person, and you submit your passports and all your documents to them and they deliver your passports to you.
Yeah. You can also go to the Philippines if you have a valid Singapore visa, a multi-entry Singapore visa, but we didn't have that, so we don't know much about it. But if you already have a Singapore visa, then you are allowed to visit the Philippines for 14 days. So that's something you can explore.
For currency, we use the Neo debit card. It has a 0% forex markup and a very low ATM withdrawal charges. And we have been reliably using that card in other trips as well. And the app that comes with it is also very nice. However, it wasn't accepted anywhere except the main Cebu city.
So coming to ATM withdrawal and cash in general, so all the ATMs there had a 10,000 peso limit, which we were not aware of. We did not research enough. And all the ATMs have a 250 peso surcharge for all international cards. So Neo card also has a 300 fixed rate, 300 rupees for any ATM withdrawals. So we ended up paying 800 rupees for every 10,000 pesos that we were withdrawing. So that's a crucial bit of information that you should know if you are planning to just rely on ATM withdrawals. So my advice would be to better carry, some other currencies like USD or EUR, euro, so that you can just exchange that. That would be much more economical. Since we ended up we were relying a lot on the ATM withdrawals, we ended up spending quite a lot on just the ATM withdrawal charges. So next up, SIM cards. You don't need to book it online. I usually do in booking the SIM card online, but here you don't really need to. So the moment you step out of the airport, you will find kiosks, and I think that's applicable for most big airports in Philippines. So we just stepped outside the Cebu airport arrivals, and there were kiosks for both Globe and Smart telecoms. So you can just go there, pay some cash, and you'll get a SIM card, tourist SIM card for like whatever time period you want.
And we chose to buy one SIM card of each so as to maximize our chances of getting network. And it will cost you and with 500 pesos for 15 days, and you'll get 20 to 25 GB of 5G data and unlimited calls and SMS.
Yeah. So, like you said, we try to get one. If there are multiple telecoms available, we try to get one of each so that we can always have some reliable internet if one is not available. So Globe, I felt, was not that good. Smart was working well throughout the island, but in most places, Globe was giving me like 2G network connectivity, especially in the southern parts. So you can choose accordingly. Okay, so next up, driving. So like I said earlier, we drove across the island. We kind of rented a car, and we just rented it for 8 days, and we explored the whole island and did a road trip. So we rented a sedan for around 15,000 pesos, which includes it's for 8 days, and it includes the delivery and pickup. So they charge extra for that, so that is also included, and there's a 2,500 refundable deposit that you can, it's like a cash bond. You'll get it back after you hand over the car to them. So I just looked up for rental agencies around Cebu online on Google Maps, and I just reached out to them with Facebook Messenger. So all the vendors there, you use Facebook a lot for all these purposes. So you can just talk to them on Facebook Messenger well in advance before you leave for your trip, or if you want it immediately after going there, it's good to just talk to them in advance and tell them your requirements.
Yeah, and driving there was a fun experience. They have good roads even in remote areas, and people there follow the traffic rules, so you'll have a good time driving there. And they drive on the right side of the road, so that was a first for me. You don't really need an international driving permit, which is IDP, because your Indian driving license, provided it is written in English, allows you to drive there for 90 days.
So in my opinion, activities is a subjective thing. It depends on personal preferences. So you can always just look up online and do the must visit things in any place. So in Cebu as well, you can find activities in Klook. So Klook, if you don't know, Klook is a very good platform for good amount of countries, but especially Southeast Asia. You get a lot of activities and things you need to book online. You'll get good deals. So you can always look up on Klook about what activities are available in Cebu.
Yeah, so in Klook we booked a spa experience and a Sumilan Island day pass experience, which was totally worth it. You can book activities like canyoneering. We skipped canyoneering in favor of going to this hidden waterfall called Binalayan, and we had fun there.
Yeah, so you can just look up waterfalls across. So there are a lot of waterfalls across the island, especially in the southern part. So you can just look them up on Google Maps and just go to whatever works for you. One more thing that's very famous in Cebu, in Oslo, is the whale shark watching. In my opinion, I would just say skip it. It's highly unethical. We didn't end up doing it, so it's basically like a early morning experience. You go line up there. It gets a lot of tourists, and you line there from 1 a.m. Starting 1 a.m. and then you'll probably get an early morning slot to go into the water. It's very crowded, and the whale sharks get surrounded by humans all around, so it's definitely not a good experience for them. So we thought of doing a diving experience in around that area to see the whale sharks instead. But even that I was not very comfortable with, and eventually it ended up we did not do it because the whale sharks swam away by that time. So the amount of footfall it gets, it's just not worth it. It's a huge unethical tourist trap. So it's better to see such creatures in their native habitat rather than queuing up and going for these kind of activities. Philippines is a beautiful country, so you should definitely visit there. We hope to go back there someday because we couldn't do other islands this time. We only did Cebu. So I hope this travel guide helps you plan your trip to the beautiful country of Philippines.
And drop your questions in the comments. We would be happy to answer them.
Yes, and we wish to come up with more such content. So if you are interested, feel free to subscribe.
Bye.